Every single month I generate millions of dollars on behalf of over dozens of e-commerce brands using email marketing. In this video I'm gonna show you the best tools to use in 2025 to make sure that you're getting the best results with your email marketing. Let's get right into it. The first one is gonna be Klaviyo, mainly because, or Klaviyo, I know a lot of people pronounce it differently. This is the best tool we're using right now, and I'm not affiliated with them by any means, but we're just getting the best results with them. We've had clients using some other tools which I don't want to mention because I don't want to talk bad about them, but Klaviyo is your best shot really, mainly because they have good deliverability, especially for Gmail inboxes. They have a lot of features that you can implement, like their predictive AI, dynamic content blocks and whatnot. And in general, their email builder is pretty simple. You have a lot of possibilities with flows. You can be really in depth in what you're doing, get really granular, make a lot of granular, get a lot of conditional splits, trigger splits and whatnot. And the analytics is also decent. So that's why I recommend it. Once again, like, this is the best tool we're using, both for flows and campaigns. If you're not using Klaviyo, I recommend you at least give it a shot, because I think it's gonna be great. And if you wanna sign up, there's obviously gonna be a link in the video description to create your Klaviyo account. But in general, this is the best tool for email marketing. And once again, I'm not affiliated with them. They're not paying me to say this. It's actually the only tool we use for our clients. I've been exploring the other ones, but this one is the best. We're getting great results actually for both email and SMS. But yeah, for email, it's really one of the best tools. That's actually the best in my opinion, at least of now. Maybe things will change in the future, but right now I don't see any competitor beating them. Mainly because, once again, all of everything I said, it's also pretty simple to use. It's quite clear. It's not perfect like any other tool, but it's really, really solid. So if you're not using it, make sure you do, and make sure you do it properly. If you don't know how to use Klaviyo, I have an entire video which is gonna show up on the screen right now, showing you an entire Klaviyo tutorial, everything you need to know to make sure that you become the master and an expert of this tool. This was the first one. The other next two ones will be quite similar. First one is Mild.com, where it's like an inspirational email website where you can kind of see, emails from other brands, from competitors. You can get the inspiration. It's really great, especially if you're creating as many emails as we are. We're doing like hundreds of emails every single month. So getting an inspiration is important for us. But in your case, you can do the same thing, where once again, you can kind of look at the brands, which are, okay, I just verify I'm a human, which I am, fortunately. But yeah, you can sort it by brands, where once again, you can just select the niche they're in, the country, and for lists, you can also create your own list. But in general, you can look at the brands. For example, you're in home and decor niche, you can select some of these. Some of that might not be relevant because probably your strategy, if you mimic Lego, won't be the greatest. But for apparel, for example, you don't want to mimic AliExpress as well, but you can look at some other brands that you like. For example, let's say Alo Yoga, they have nice emails. You can kind of look at them, see what they've been doing for the past 2 years, get an inspiration, click on the email itself, see what it looks like. Dark mode, normal mode, right? Then you can see the copy, the buttons, everything like that. It's pretty much like a directory, like a Facebook ads library, but for emails, which is great. I like it. Which brings me to my next tool, which is a little bit newer one, Mailbird, but I like it more, to be honest, in terms of how to use it and whatnot. You have multiple views, first one being emails, then you can also view the subject lines. So it's quite decent because, for example, I'm recording it on Black Friday, so you can see how everyone is, using Black Friday. So it gives you, some ideas on how to maybe stand out. Maybe, for example, this one is decent, like, oops, we donated your discount. It stands out more to me than Black Friday. You get my point, so that's great. Then you also have gifts, where you can, once again, just get an inspiration of gifts people are doing. And then you can also view them by brands, right? So once again, you can kind of quite similar to Mild.com, but I prefer this tool because it has a little bit more features, I believe. So you can, select this email, you can follow it, you can make it favorite, you can copy the link to this email if you want to share it, for example, with your team or whatever. So you can do this, then you can click on the email as well, and you can view it in on desktop, on mobile and whatnot. You can see the links, right? I believe they also had a feature that you could like see the send time, but whatever. The next one is, once again, when you have following brands, you can see the emails they've been sending. So we are following Pearl Labs, and we can see the kind of campaigns they've been doing. For the favorites, once again, you can highlight some of the campaigns that you like and make them favorite or an I favorite. On boards, like, you can see, you create your own boards for inspiration. And then there is a cool feature called Inbox, where you're using their email address to get the inspiration or like sign up to email lists of any brands that you want to. For example, if there's any brand that is missing, where you have, this explore page, and like you can even filter this, but let's say, you're looking for something in automotive industry, right? You click on this, but you really don't see the brand that you want to follow, but there's one specific brand that you want to be signed up for the email list. You go to inbox, you sign up using this email, and then you're gonna be getting emails from them right here, which is pretty cool. Now the next tool is gonna be Google Post Master Tools. This is mainly to track deliverability, because Klaviyo, as good as it is, it's not showing you the spam rates for Google, so you want to have a separate tool dedicated by Google as well, so we know it's reliable data, and it's called Post Master Tools. So we have all of our clients' domains, but you can select, or you can add your own domain by clicking this big plus in the right bottom corner. You would need to type in your domain, so nike.com. If you're Nike's founder, then DM me, but yeah, you can click on this, get select, but then you just add the DNS record, you click on verify, and after you click verify, you're gonna get a bunch of data, maybe not right away, but over time it should populate. Right, so yeah, this is where you're gonna see spam rate. Usually anything below 0.3 is okay. So for this brand we had some spam rate, but it's November, so it's quite, I don't want to say understandable, but we're sending a lot of emails because once again November and Black Friday and whatnot, so a little bit higher is okay, but still below 0.3 as their benchmark, which is good. Then you have something called IP reputation, where once again you can see what is it. Right now it's high, which is good. Then domain reputation, it should be high as well. You can see it's high all the time, which is great. Feedback loops, they should also be, quite static at 0 pretty much every single time. And then authentication, which is gonna be your DNS records like DMARC, SPF, sometimes DMARC failed, but once again, it's like still above 97%, which is fine, especially with huge volume send. You might have cases where someone's DMARC fails, but in general, make sure that you're mainly monitoring spam rate, IP reputation, domain reputation, and authentication as well, because if DMARC dropped to like 50%, then it's alarming and you need to check out what's going on. The next deliverability tool is gonna be Glockups. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly log in. This is like, once again, another external tool. We don't like to rely only on Klaviyo. You want to have some other tools as well. So it's quite simple. You can run a spam test, where I have an entire video showing you how to use Glockups, and in general my favorite tools for deliverability. And then you click on email, you can see the blacklist and deliverability in general, spam rates and whatnot. They're obviously gonna be different for every brand. For some brands they're looking terrible, like for example this one where we started testing it, their domain and how it's delivering and whatnot. Like we've actually been checking their deliverability, but for this brand they have like Gmail 100% deliverability, another Gmail 93%, the other one is promotion tab, so that's decent. You have really a lot of insights. You can see spam assassin is coin 0.4, that's okay, mainly because there was some kind of issue with blacklist, which is now fixed, because once again this was a new domain. But yeah, in general I recommend it for using it to define your deliverability and fix it as well. The other tool for deliverability is gonna be Gmass. This one is quite simple. You just drop into the products, then inbox spam promotions, and then from your Klaviyo account you would, for example, click on this, so copy all these email addresses, you would send the preview email, and then you would select, you would search for your brand's name or the email you're sending from, which would show you where your email landed for every single inbox. Once again, they have Google Workspace inboxes, Gmail, aged ones, new ones, and whatnot, so it's really solid. Once again, I have an entire video on those deliverability tools which is gonna show up on the screen, so if you want to see how I'm exactly using them, you can watch this video as well. Now the other tool is gonna be for timers. This is mainly if you wanna add some urgency, especially for Black Friday. It's quite simple. You just prepare a timer and pretty much insert it. It's as simple as that, really. You can create whatever timer you want to, and then you can kind of select when it expires. You can also play with designs and change a lot of things, colors and whatnot. So if you want to add some urgency to your emails, definitely use it, because once again it's actually quite cool when it shows you the countdown to 0, especially once again during Black Friday, where you really want to build this urgency and make sure that people actually feel it. The next tool is gonna be Squash. So we are using this mainly to decrease the size of the emails, right? Obviously then you drag and drop the email. Usually we're selecting it at 75% JPEG, and then we're exporting it and then uploading to Klaviyo. This is mainly to make sure that your deliverability is on point and that you're not sending huge images. Now the last tool is gonna be Free Subject Line Tester, which is once again great because you can see the preview for multiple inboxes, multiple devices, to make sure that your subject line is not cut off, right? So you type in your sender's name. Once again, let's use Nike as an example. Black Friday is live. Shop our biggest sale. Okay, you see, so this one is a little bit too long because, for example, on in Gmail inbox they won't be able to see it. Shop our biggest, and then we don't know what. So we would need to change it to make sure that it actually fits it, and people can see it, right? Like on iPhone 14, for example, people can see it on the other iPhone as well, but for Google Pixel or Samsung, they wouldn't be able to see it. So I would recommend you make this aligned to every single device pretty much, because usually people are using both, and you want to make sure that everyone sees the right subject line regardless if they have an iPhone or Samsung or some other smartphone that they are using. So once again, quite useful tool. You just type in your sender's name, type in your subject line and preview text, and then you check the preview of what it would look like. So these are the best tools for 2025 that you must be using if you want to get the best result with email marketing. If you want to see how you can make your e-com brand stand out and beat your competition in 2025, make sure you watch my other video, which is going to show you the exact strategy you can use, copy and paste.